B mods on the pole. On the inside of row number 1, out of Polo, Missouri, the number 57C. That'll be Chad Clancy into the outside, middle part of row number 1. From St. Joseph, Missouri, the 1X will be Shadron Turner. To the outside, out of Lebanon, Missouri, the 6K65. That's Chris Jackson.
A 16-time winner this year. We'll start inside of that second row. The 31-year-old John Sheets out of Nevada, Missouri, in the J2 race cars. Number 8S starts fourth. To the middle of that second row, the 36-year-old Cody King, a 14-time winner this year out of Fanshawe, Oklahoma. And to the outside of Springfield, Missouri, Caden Stacy will start sixth here tonight.
Inside of row number 3, out of Bullard, Texas, the 4JR, it's Boone Evans. In the middle part of row number 3, from Decorah, Iowa, the 16D is Dan Hovden. Into the outside, from Brighton, Missouri, the 7L, that'll be Trevor Drake.
A 5-time winner this year out of Springfield. It'll be J.C. Morton driving that Bloodline chassis, number 18. He's your 10th starter tonight. To the outside, a 13-time winner this year, the Kansas racer under the 1K, it's Tim Carrick. And to his outside, it'll be Andy Bryan out of Fort Scott, Kansas, in car number 28A.
On the inside of row number 5, from Chinook, Kansas, the Hughes House Car driver in car number 54. That'll be Tyler Kidwell. Middle part of that row out of Blanchard, Louisiana. The number 23 is Cody Tupper. And to the outside, from Caledonia, Minnesota, the number 32 is Taylor Scalgi.
Your 16th starter out of Kansas City. The pilot of the 6T is Michael Taylor III. To the outside of him, it's Rex Harris out of Max Creek, Missouri. In car number 30, your 18th starter from Cross Timbers, and the 15 is Ryan Eady.
Starting on the inside of row number 7, this would be spot number 19. Out of Urbana, Missouri, driving the number 55, it'll be Colson Kirk. In the middle part of that row, from Springfield, Missouri, the number 66 is Ryan Gilmore. And to the outside, from Austin, Minnesota, the number 42B is Caden Bronner.
Lansing, Kansas, pilot of the 7J, starting 22nd. You'll find Jake Richards. To the outside from El Dorado Springs, Missouri, in the 11L, that's Logan Smith. And your 24th starter, the Wheatland Outlaw, driving that CDR race cars, number 17S from Hermitage, Missouri, it's Mike Striegel.
Inside of row number 9, starting 25th on the field, Braden Jarvis out of Claremore, Oklahoma, pilots car number 65. In the middle of the row, Odessa, Missouri, Stephen Clancy in the 12C. And to the outside, from Sibley, Louisiana, the 7cc, that's Colby Williams.
Ty O'Neill will start 28th tonight. He resides out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, in T44 with Mitchell Franklin in the middle of that row in the F1. He's out of Camdenton, Missouri, in the F1. And the 30th started out of Sedalia, Missouri, the pilot of the 90. It's Terry Schultz.
Your 2 final starters on the 11th row by themselves. To the inside out of Baltic, South Dakota, Dustin Cruz in car number 6. And to his outside, from Fairmont, Minnesota, the 17K K Beamer. So that'll be your 32-car starting field here tonight for your USRA B mods. I tell you what, it's just when you look at that starting field on your screen there at home, it's still up on racingdirt.com. Just a who's who in the B-Mod world. You look at that front row, Shadron Turner, a former USRA National Champion, Chris Jackson, a former USRA National Champion, John Sheets, the same thing, Cody King, Dan Hovden, Boone Evans, Trevor Drake, Cade Stacy. The list goes on and on. You want to talk about the best B-Mod drivers in the country, we have them right here lined up tonight for the USRA Nationals.
Yeah, no doubt. I got a stat for you here. Just 1 second. I came up with here at the top. So, your top 15 starters have 169 wins amongst them.
This year?
Yeah, just this season.
Yikes.
Just this season, 169 wins for your first 15 starters. The winningest driver out of that group is Dan Hovden, your USRA National Champion with 26 wins to his credit. Second winningest driver in that group, tied with 16 apiece, Chris Jackson and John Sheets. This should get pretty interesting. And Cody Tupper, has 19. He starts back in 14th spot here tonight.
Well, like I said, it ought to be a good one here for your USRA B-Mods as you see the field roll out onto the speedway. There's that 57 of Clancy on the inside of row number 1, Shadron Turner. to the middle part of that row, and Chris Jackson on the outside of row number 1. It'd be easy to stop there and say it's likely the winner is going to come from that front row, but you just can't, because any one of these guys in this field, I think, tonight is capable of picking up a win.
Absolutely. That's kind of why I went all the way back to 15th with that stat, just to kind of show, from the front to the back and all parts in between. I could have went through the rest of the field and compiled some more, but it would have taken a little bit longer. So just try to get you the first out there. It just goes to show, though, like how tough this is and how winning. A lot of these guys win all over the country, and we got best on best here tonight at one of the best racetracks in the country. This is truly going to be a really, really good race.
Yep, no doubt. And hearing over the Raceway communication system, lights out this time at the flag stand. Race fans, we've got just 2A features left. This one's going to go 40 times around. If you're able, stand up on your feet, wave your hands at these drivers as they are getting ready to go 40 times around the Lucas Oil Speedway. Lights are out. They're going out anyhow. There they are. There it is. I heard Ryan.
This should be a good one. Your USRA B-Mod finale, the USRA Nationals, 12th running of this event, 40 laps in distance with Clancy, Turner, and Jackson from the front row, 3 wide to the green flag. Here we go. It's going to be Chris Jackson who gets the whole shot in the advantage. That could be a tough road to hoe for the rest of the field, throwing him up front early on. That right, White's Marine Center, Rubel Racing Engine Power, J2 race car, house car number 65, going to march up front, and he'll lead lap number 1 in car number 65.
Yeah, Chris Jackson's been here before. He leads lap number 1, looking to run away from the field. John Sheets in that J2 8S, looking to see if he can reel in the former owner of the J2 chassis company. Those two off into turns 3 and 4. Clancy, as we saw earlier this week, kind of deja vu. He's doing better with Shadron Turner. Meanwhile, on the back straightaway, we got one turned around. That's the 54 of Tyler Kidwell. Yellow flag and a wave.
One of those drivers that started inside of that top theme that has double-digit wins, 20 to his credit on the year in that huge chassis house car for the B-Mod division here, as Kidwell got a shot maybe. Didn't get turned hard, but evidently it was enough for him to lose control.
Six had a run, looked like he just kind of got up underneath the skirt of the 54 and ended up turning him around. We'll see how track officials officiate this one.
Yeah, it was Michael Taylor III that got into him there. We'll get another look at it here.
There it is, up underneath the left rear quarter panel, and swipes across, and that probably just hooked him.
Probably got a hold of that bar with that front bumper and sent him around.
Yeah, certainly not intentional on the part of Taylor at all, but nevertheless, he's going to be called to the tail end of the field on that one.
So Chris Jackson, he's been here before, like you had mentioned, 16 wins on the year, and he's a multi-time USRA national champion. And Chris Jackson out of Lebanon, Missouri. Boy, he has just been as tough as it gets in this class. An old B-Mod stalwart, if you will. So many guys lean on him for his knowledge and his expertise in this class. Of course, he builds these race cars and, or did. You know, John Sheets now at the helm of the J2 camp, but just been a really dominant run for the 65 driver. And of course, John Sheets has really tried to take over those reins, right? I mean, we didn't see the 65 running on the USRA deal a whole lot in 2024, so it's had an opportunity for it to change hands a little bit. And John Sheets has really risen to the occasion. And like I mentioned, 178 wins for just your first 15 starters here just kind of goes to show that there is no slouches represented throughout this field here tonight.
No, not at all. That's better. That's a double digit.
He's digging a divot.
Average for those 15 drivers. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's all right, buddy. You're doing a phenomenal job. So, what's that?
Okay, Chris Jackson. What can you say about Chris Jackson as far as his accomplishments? The list doesn't stop. Multi-time track champion here at the Lucas Oil Speedway, former USRA national champion, Wins upon wins upon wins upon wins for the driver number 65. Familiar place for that driver out in the front of the field in this one, but I have a feeling before this one's over, somebody's going to give him a run for money. It just depends on who that somebody's going to be.
Absolutely. We're going to find out who's got the baddest hot rod of the bunch tonight. 65 of Jackson will roll that Rubel Racing Union-powered Whites Marine Center J2 race car number 65 back to the point. He stands on the throttle and sends us back to the green flag with Clancy and Sheets in tow. We're back underway.
Field rifles off down the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2. Clancy in the middle part of the racetrack. It Sheets, Clancy, Turner. They'll step it down the back straightaway to turns 3 and 4. Turner back to the bottom part of the racetrack. There's Clancy through the middle. Sheets up top. Doesn't matter though. It continues to be the 65 of Chris Jackson out in front of the field.
Look at this racetrack, man. They are all over this thing from top to the bottom and all parts in between. There's 3 different grooves to choose from right now. Chris Jackson's found a good groove right in the middle of the Lucas Oil Speedway. I'm sure he's found that lane before in his career, and he's found it again here tonight in the 12th, running into the USRA Nationals, trying to run away from this field. He's got 6/10. That's the advantage up front, 0.683 to be exact. Sheets trying to keep the 65 car honest. He got a good run off of turn number 2, down the back straight into 3. Again, 0.6 last time. Let's see what it is this time by underneath the flag stand here, Eric, as they exit 4.
Yellow flag is out. Not sure. Oh, we got one stopped at the top of turn 2. That looks to be the 17, the Wheatland Outlaw, Mike Striegel.
Yeah, tough break for Striegel there. And that Schultz Motorsports Midwest Machine Power, KS Engineering powered number 17 car. Tough break for Striegel. Had a good starting spot in this one here this evening. But if he's able to continue, of course, he's going to have to battle through the 8 ball in this one. It's not what he was looking for if he wanted to win this one tonight. But hey, 36 laps to go still yet, and the Wheatland Outlaw knows his way around this racetrack. So here's your running order with 4 scored, 36 laps to go. Chris Jackson, your race leader, over John Sheets. Sheets looked like he had found some momentum just before the caution flag wave. We were getting ready to check the transponder time, and unfortunately the caution came out. But Chad Clancy slots there in 3rd of the 57C. Shadron Turner, who won here on Wednesday night on the lid lifter, he's 4th in that Carrick Motorsports 1X. Caden Stacy is 5th. What a run for him. A driver who only has 1 lone win on the season right here out of the great state of the Show Me State, out of Springfield for Caden Stacy. 1 win on the year, sits 5th. Boone Evans is 6th here when we go back to the green flag. J.C. Morton up the 7th. Cody King runs 8th. Andy Bryant, Dan Hovden right now your top 10.
Field goes lights out. Chris Jackson slowly tugs the train down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 once again. Real similar to the last restart. Jackson will come downhill off of turn number 4. Field comes back to green.
Back to the green flag we go. John Sheets going to roll around the outside of the 57 of Clancy, the 1X of Turner. They roll back into turn number 3. Keep our eyes on several of these battles and see how they shake out here. As Stacy right there into the middle of the speedway with 4 Boone Evans down to the bottom of him. As you see on your screen, the 1X of Turner looking to size up the 57 of Clancy, who's sizing up the 8 of Sheets for 2nd. Turner bouncing through the holes into 1 and 2 here. Down the back straightaway, Clancy not able to sidestep the 8S of John Sheets. The harder they get the race in here, Eric, they're allowing Chris Jackson to get out front and clean air, hit his marks, and start to separate right now as he rolls back into 1 with the race lead.
Well, that same hole that we saw last night over in turns 1 and 2 appears to have reared its ugly head once again. You saw a couple of drivers bounce through it the last couple of laps. Shadron Turner really took a hard right-hand turn through it, was able to maintain the handle on the race car. He's back to the 4th spot behind him. Battle for 5th between Cody King and the, I believe that's the 15 of Caden Stacy. Boone Evans, J.C. Morton right there, as is the 28 of Andy Bryant. Those 5 worked their way off of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
I talked to your 5th place runner earlier this afternoon in the pit area of Cody King out of Fanshawe, Oklahoma. He said, man, my last 2 nights are just a role reversal from what happened here on Wednesday night. He said, man, we freed the car up. He said, I'm kind of scared to free it up anymore. Oh, and he gets character right there in the 1 and 2. But King, nonetheless, a huge bounce back for him in the triple digits in the 510 car. As you see the 4 Boone Evans trying to hold off the charge from the 15 of Caden Stacy. Evans, your stock car winner here last night. Off of turn number 4, Andy Bryan is ripping the lip in 28. He has not budged off the top shelf here at Lucas all week long in car number 28.
No, he hasn't right now, though. Trying to work to the outside of the 15 of Caden Stacy is Boone Evans coming after the 5-10 of Cody King down into turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, Boone to the left rear quarter tail of that 5-10. Nose to tail down the front straightaway back into 1 and 2. Good battle right there on your screen at home. Boone Evans trying to take it to the 5-10 for 5th.
And all the while back up front, John Sheets sizing up Chris Jackson. He has come out of nowhere. Here comes John Sheets down to the bottom for the race lead. John Sheets just dug out deep from within, and he has locked in, and he has started to run down the 65 of Chris Jackson. A pair of heavyweights going to go at it here into the Show Me State here tonight. Rolling down the back boulevard into turn 3 for the pair of Show Me State racers. Off of turn number 4, John Sheets working the hub and working it well. Searching that moisture strip just like Jalen Wettengale did in the stock cars. He's going to roll the top though into 1 and 2, follow the tire tracks of Jackson, hoping for a slip of the grip for Jackson, but you know Jackson doesn't give too many of those, Eric.
Nope, absolutely not. Now I noticed Jackson changed the line as soon as Sheets caught him. It makes you wonder if Jackson saw something on that video board there in 3 and 4, tried to come down the racetrack to protect because the swarm from the 8S of Sheets has stalled. Now Sheets, as soon as I say that, Diamond cuts the corner, takes 3 car lengths out of the lead. Half a car length separate them as they roll into turns 3 and 4.
If this race stays green, we will at some point reach a heavy set of lap traffic as Sheets has had his close shot yet. He's going to roll back right, pull in tight to the back deck lid of the 65 J2 race cars. It's a good one up front for the race lead. Jackson slips up off the exit of 2. Here comes Sheets down to the bottom. He'll drive it in deep. Will he pull the trigger and throw the slider right here? He will not. He'll stay committed down to the bottom and look for a big drive off the exit of 4. And he's got it. No, dead even at the line. Give the race lead still to Chris Jackson in 65 by 48 hundredths of a second.
Yep, Chris Jackson now going to protect the top side of the racetrack. He'll pull back out in front. There was a good battle between Cody King and Shadron Turner. King to the 4 spot now. He's coming after the 57 of Clancy behind your leaders. Your leaders still nose to tail back into turns 1 and 2, inching ever closer to traffic. This time, John Sheets was about to try the Diamond Cut maneuver, but the car stalls out on him. It looks like he got tight and had to shut it down. Loses wholesale ground to the 65 into 3 and 4.
But is John just letting this race play out right now? Doesn't want to use his equipment up. He knows he can see lap traffic up in front, and they are literally 3 and 4 lanes wide up there as Cody Tupper's going to exit stage right in car number 23.
Thank you, 23.
Yes, this race stays under the green. We want to see this race stay green because this is a good one right here, right now. 23 laps to go, and there's a heavy set of lap traffic up in front of your leaders as they are side by side off of turn number 4. Here comes John Sheets one more time, mounting a charge.
Just as we approach the halfway point, a couple of laps from now, the 65 of Chris Jackson feeling pressure once again. No! Caution flag gonna fly.
No other choice but for that one to come out for the T44 of Ty O'Neill. What a fun first 18 trips around for this 40-lapper tonight for the B-Mods between a pair of heavyweights. Chris Jackson has led them all so far, but John Sheets making him work for it. This is fun. Trenton, is this fun for you, man? Like, this is just, I mean, this racetrack has just been so good. And I don't think we're overselling it. I mean, these last 3 races have just been absolutely phenomenal, and this one is just as good. I mean, I'd like it to stay green right there, but man, what a race this is.
It is. I was kind of sitting there watching that race, taking a stroll back down memory lane, man. A lot of my love for dirt racing came from this place back when it was Wheatland Raceway. I've talked about it a lot of years. You entered underneath the carport right over here. You had a gravel hill, and it was not nearly what it is today. You know, my wife and I came to so many dates here in high school and after we were out of school, and to see what's happened here and the commitment they've made. You know, it was unbelievable vision and resources by Forrest Lucas, his lovely wife Charlotte. My heart still breaks for the Lucas family, and we're so fortunate to have this place. And man, there's a great staff here, and it's just it's not lost on me to be right here in this moment. So yeah, am I loving it? Dang right. It's a great place to be, and this is a fantastic race.
You know, I don't get too combative when they get negative on social media, but I'll tell you, man, I see people talk like Lucas Oil Speedway doesn't race. I've seen that. Like, I see that all, and I'm telling you, since Wednesday night, and this is why I sound so adamant about it, like I have kind of an attitude in my voice about it. I don't know what people are talking about or what they're referring to. I mean, I have saw some of the best racing I've seen all year long, and I'm not just saying that because I'm up here talking. I'm being totally dead serious.
Here's the bottom line. The Warriors hate to see success. They hate to see nice things. You know, it's something they can't have, so it can't be good.
That's right.
You know, I mean, it's a myriad of things, and this thing's all that and more. And you know what? Is this track perfect every night? No. But there's not a single racetrack in the country over the course of the season that's perfect every night. This place is no different than anywhere else in that regard.
That's right. Sometimes,
but where it is different is in so many other things, and we're just so fortunate to have it right here.
No doubt. A lot of folks, put it up there on a pedestal because of the name. You know, look, Kazoo Speedway, it's so nice, got the facility, but hey, the racetrack has matched the facility this weekend. That's my point.
June of 2006, I sat right up in those grandstands, just a little bit to the turn 4 side of the flag stand, and watched the first race here that night, and I still remember the names of the guys that won and competed, and they packed the place, and it was such a shot in the arm. It's a core memory in my life.
I love that, man. Appreciate you sharing it. We're getting ready to go back to the green flag here. Man, I have no idea who's going to win this race, and that's what we love. Anybody's guess who's going to prevail in this one here tonight, Eric Chesterman? The 65 of Chris Jackson. He's been here many a times before. Going to look to lead him around with John Sheets and Clancy in row 2. Lights are out. We're back underway here with 22 laps to go. And your USRA B-Mod finale here for the 12th running of the USRA Nationals.
Really good restart for the 65 of Chris Jackson. He took a couple of car lanes into turns 1 and 2. John Sheets, Chad Clancy, though, not going to let him get any further away than that. Back into 3 and 4. Sheets to the bottom of the speedway. Jackson up top. Here comes John Sheets once again, remounting the charge.
That's the highest the 65 of Jackson has ran 3 and 4 since the first green flag is dropped in this race. 65 goes back to the top in 1 and 2. Look out, Clancy slipped up a little high wide, allowed Cody Keene to get a run. One exit, Chadron Turner down to the bottom of him. Good racing throughout this field. Sheets has another run mounted on your race leader. Chris Jackson ripping the lip off the top of 4. And here comes Sheets back down to the bottom. It's brewing again. We're brewing a Donnybrook into 1 and 2.
John Sheets got a little bit tight on corner entry that time. Car went into a brief four-wheel slide, able to regain control. Now down to the bottom. A car length to lead for this time into 3 and 4 for the 65 Jackson. Too much momentum off top. He'll retain the lead this time by. We're past the halfway point. 21 in, 19 to go.
Look at that right rear for Sheets. May have skirted the wall just a little bit, though these cars do not have spoilers. Shouldn't hamper his progress too much any. We'll keep an eye on it. The 8S cars. We got one around. That's Michael Taylor III. As he's around to the middle of turns 1 and 2, and he will not get it refired. The caution has no other choice but to come back out here.
Yeah, looks like broken steering on the 6T as well as those tires definitely not pointing the same direction or the correct direction there. At the very least, a bent tie rod, but I think something's more. There's probably some more damage than that on that 6 car.
Yeah, you can tell it's rolling back to the pit area a little cattywampus anyway, but he will try to get there. He tries to take a hard right turn. He makes it. So tough break for Taylor, though. Congratulations to him for making this feature event tonight. I mean, that was a tall task out of the 82 cars that checked in, and a lot of these guys, that was their goal, right, when they came into the weekend, Eric. We just want to make the main event, and there's several drivers that have a feather in their cap for making this race here tonight, so congratulations to each and every one of them. No love lost, and we're certainly not going to lose the sight of how tough this competition is, and a lot of these drivers just making this race is like a win for them.
Yeah, we've been so infatuated with the battle up front, and rightfully so, as good as it's been. Let's check the Hard Charger leaderboard right now. To this point in the race, 22 laps down, 40 laps to go. Stephen Clancy plus 616, started 26th, currently in 10th. He's the only driver in the double-digit category. Terry Schultz, the next closest driver at plus 9, 30th to 21st. Andy Bryant, he's the closest to the top 5, going 12th to 6th, plus 6th on the board for the driver of the 28.
Also, keep in mind that the 54, Tyler Kidwell, remember, he went to the back of the pack early on when he got turned over there in turn number 2. He had to restart at the tail of the field. He's worked his way all the way back up to the 12th running spot right now. So he's passed about, 20? I mean, I'm not sure exactly how many cars were remaining running on the racetrack when he went to the tail, but, I mean, he's passed at least 15 cars.
Yeah, not officially eligible for the Hard Charger award from that position, but theoretically definitely need to mention that as well, for sure.
Absolutely. Trying to get himself back into the mix. Started this race in the 13th starting spot, so he's already one spot better from where he originally started the race. So we'll keep an eye on the 54 Kidwell in that Hughes chassis B-Mod house car. 65, Chris Jackson getting ready to lead us back around the next time. Clancy and Sheets. Let's get a good green flag run in here. 18 laps to go to settle it here for the 12th running of the USRA Nationals. Chris Jackson punches his ticket down the front of Main Street into 1 and 2 on the restart. Here we go.
Man, Chad Clancy got a really good launch down the front straightaway to turns 1 and 2. Momentarily got to the inside of the 8S of Sheets, but couldn't do anything with it. Sheets has visions of coming back after the 65 of Jackson. Jackson, though, too tough to tame off the top side of turn 4. 3 car lengths. His lead back into 1 and 2.
They continue to roll and stroll. They're a little bit tighter to the back of the 65 of Jackson, though it's taken the 8S of Sheets a couple of laps to get the momentum wound up underneath the hood of the 8S car. He'll continue to rip the lip. Look out, Sheets nearly just went over the top there in 3 and 4, but he gets it back on with all 4s. It's really, really close to slipping over the top right there for the 8S of Sheets. He'll send it back over to the top into 1 and 2. Chris Jackson has not budged off the top shelf, man, over these last couple of restarts, man, and that car is humming around the top shelf of the Lucas Oil Speedway right now.
Yeah, good battle on your screen at home right there between Shadron Turner, the 5'10" of Cody King. Those two have locked horns a couple of different times in this feature event. They'll do it again here as King works to the middle part of the racetrack right off the right quarter panel of the 1X of Turner. Side by side, down the back straightaway. Turner holds onto that 4 spot. Cody King trying to take it from him. Behind him, Andy Bryant. J.C. Morton takes a big slider across the nose of the 4 of, I believe that was Boone Evans. So Evans having to avoid disaster there, but everybody able to race clean and green.
We scored lap number 26 the last time by with 13 laps to go now. Jackson continues to lead as you see him. The 8S of John Sheets now working the bottom. He's chipping away at it once again. Here comes Sheets back down to the bottom. He'll send it up to the top into 1 and 2. He missed it right there to the 1 and 2, but he gets it ironed out down the back straightaway. See Andy Bryan on your screen. He's ripping the lip as well. The 28A car from 12th up to the 6th spot. He's hounding the 510 of Cody King, who rounds out your top 5 runners right now. But back up front, John Sheets mounting another charge in your race leader, Chris Jackson, as they roll back into turns 1 and 2. Jackson, Eric, has not yet made a mistake on that top shelf.
No, absolutely not. He's done everything that he needs to do to keep the 8S at bay. John Sheets has searched every inch of this racing surface at either end of the speedway and just can't find what he needs to get by. He gets close, though, like he just did there to the left rear quarter panel of the 65. Now he's going to turn down the hill just as the momentum mounts. We got another caution in turn 3. I believe that's the F1, yes, of Mitchell Franklin. And the 7 of
Colby Williams.
The 7cc of Colby Williams also involved.
Well, that's a bummer.
Seems like, for John Sheets, unfortunately, seems like every time he's got that momentum finally built up, the caution comes out and just kind of completely ruins it, and he's got to start over.
How do you think he feels, right? I mean,
Probably
I'm sure he's a little frustrated.
yeah.
I would imagine so, man. Every time he starts getting that bottom rolling good in 3 and 4, that's where this race is different. 65 has followed around the top in each set of corners here these last couple of restarts, while the 8S of John Sheets is following him around the top in 1 and 2, but he's carrying all that momentum and diving the car deep into 3 and 4 and trying to keep the car planted off the bottom. That's where he's making up a couple of different tenths over those last couple of laps. He shaved it down from 8 tenths down to 4, down to 3, down to 2, and it was about to be down to 1. He started to apply the pressure, and then the caution flag comes out. But hey, that's a part of dirt track racing. So John Sheets, he's going to have to figure out something to do here, and he's only got 11 laps to get the job done.
Well, you said it's part of dirt track racing. I was just getting ready to say, this is where these are the types of situations that separate, the best of the best from the rest. The situations where it's easy to get frustrated, and probably justifiably so. I mean, you've had about 3 different opportunities during this A feature. You've had the momentum built up. You saw yourself gaining on the leader. You took shots at him. You were trying to get him riled, out of his game, and then the caution comes out and you have to start back over. That would be something very easy behind the wheel to kind of get frustrated over and have a helmet fire, so to speak. But the best of the best are the guys that are able to compartmentalize that, get back after it, and take the fight right back to the 65. And I guarantee you, if I had to guess, John Sheets, he's not done yet.
Absolutely not. who have 11 laps to go to get the job done here. Chris Jackson trying to lead them all here tonight. Backing away here. He'll put that Rubel Racing engine power plant through the ultimate test. He'll send it full throat down into 1 and 2 here on the restart. 65 is going to lead him. Trying to go 3 wide here. Cody King down to the bottom of the 510 car. John Sheets there flanked to his outside. Clancy's got the top, but Sheets going to drive it in deep down to the bottom here in 3 and 4 and hope it sticks. Off of turn number 4, Clancy going to roll the middle. Sheets missed the bottom just a little bit and allows Clancy to go to second here on the restart.
Yeah, good restart for the 57 of Chad Clancy. He says I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. My time to shine and take a shot at the 65 as Sheets got pinched to the bottom of the racetrack. I'm surprised he chose the bottom on that restart. I wonder what the reasoning for that was, as he had been good off the top of the speedway. Nevertheless, Clancy now with a clear view of your leader out in front of him.
Yeah, now the problem for Sheets is he's going to have to wash his hands with the 57 if he wants to have a shot to get back at the 65. And how long will that take? Look at this battle, 3 wide down the back straightaway. My goodness, they fit the gap and made it work. Into turn number 3, man, they are phenomenal racing all throughout this field. Stephen Clancy in the 12, you alluded to it earlier, your hard charger, 26th en route to the 5th spot right there, make it official underneath the line.
Yeah, Stephen Clancy having a really good run here in that 12 car. You see him on screen doing battle with the 28 of Andy Bryant. That's a spot inside the top 5. Further up front, Sheets side by side with Clancy now. 7 to go, this time by the line. You said it. If Sheets wants another shot at the 65 of Chris Jackson, he's got to do something quickly with Clancy. He gets him cleared off of turn 2.
Your USRA National Points leader, Dan Hovden, exited stage right, headed back to the pit area. John Sheets working back down to the bottom of Clancy for second. He's got to run, and he'll retake second underneath the line. Rolling back into 1, trying to redial up the crosshairs for John Sheets. He'll roll the bottom as well down here to 1 and 2. He's got something cooking right around the hub of the racetrack into turn number 3. Got one to the top. That's the 4 of Boone Evans. Good news. He'll keep it into the pit area. This race will, it looks like, stay under the green flag. It looks like, yeah, it is. Is that Carrick or Turner exiting as well?
That is Carrick off the top side of turn 2. Boone Evans exited just in front of him as well. Sorry to steal your thunder here. Look at Clancy. Clancy rolled right back around the outside of Sheets after Sheets put him back into the 3rd spot a couple of laps ago. Clancy's not done. This one's going to be a 3-horse race here at the end, I have a feeling.
Yeah, Clancy rising to the occasion here as they roll back into turns 1 and 2. Clancy having a good run. 13-time winner on the year for the 45-year-old out of Polo, Missouri. Down the back straightaway with the top 3. You're getting in tight here. Into turn number 3. It's as good a time as any to tell you it's hitting up at the Lucas Oil Speedway here at the 12th running of the USRA Nationals. 3 different lanes wide for the race lead. 65 of Jackson leads them into 1, and this is getting good.
4 laps to go. John Sheets, Clancy, and the 65 of Chris Jackson. All 3 doing battle down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Clancy now is going to come down onto the right side of the 8S of Sheets. Give Sheets plenty of room to work. They're 3 wide for the lead down the front straightaway.
It's a how bad do you want it Saturday night slugfest here for the 12th running of the USRA Nationals. Chris Jackson ripping the lip down the back straightaway. Clancy to the outside of the 8S of John Sheets. The Hochatown Saloon has set the wave this time by. Clancy right through the center. Jackson ripping the lip around the top. Is that outside line momentum going to prevail? The Hochatown Saloon. Last call is out. Who's going to win this one tonight, Eric?
Clancy right to the middle part of the racetrack. John Sheets on the bottom. Oh, look at the run that the 65 of Jackson got. That may be all she wrote. Down the back straightaway. Jackson, he'll come to the bottom this time to protect. Gets tight, washes up. Sheets is off the bottom, but he's not close enough. Chris Jackson, your winner at the 12th Annual Summit Racing Equipment USRA Nationals.
What a race. Another phenomenal race from green to checkered. Had a few cautions in there. But, man, that last green flag run, those last 8 laps were phenomenal. We were 3 wide coming around to 2 laps to go. And Chris Jackson does Chris Jackson things here in Wheatland. And he sets sail around the top ropes of the Lucas Oil Speedway. And he finds Summit Racing Equipment Victory Lane, man. That was another dandy here tonight.
Man, I'll tell you what, I don't think you can get any better than what we've seen all week long and tonight especially here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Chris Jackson, your winner here tonight at the 12th Annual Summit Racing Equipment USRA Nationals in the B-Mod division. John Sheets goes second, Chad Clancy third, Andy Bryant fourth, and Stephen Clancy rounds out your top 5. Stephen Clancy, tonight's hard charger. He'll join Trenton Berry down there in Victory Lane here momentarily as well. And your USRA B-Mod champion, the 16D of Dan Hovden.
How do you think this feels for Chris Jackson after all things considered last year? I don't have to get into all the details of that, but a lot of folks know that Didn't run a lot of USRA races a season ago for Chris Jackson.